Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to Four Guys in a Bar podcast, sponsored by Chiefs Blitz and presented by Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. For your mortgage solutions, call Dave today at 816-405-5831. That's 816-405-5831 because he's pretty good. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by Chiefs Blitz, Supreme Lending, and the Eric Haynes Group. Excited to have everybody on board today. Going to have a lot of fun, as we always do. We try to take ourselves not too seriously, but we do our very best to have some fun. First, we want to talk about our good friend and one of our prime sponsors, Mr. Eric Haynes, with the Eric Haynes Group. You can reach Eric at 816-729-3785. Email esaleskc@gmail.com. Good news is interest rates are falling. Not a lot, but enough. It's starting to create inventory. You want to make sure you buy a house at the right time. It's a good time to look with rates coming down because you might have better options. Give Eric a call at 816-729-3785. Let him walk you through it, from finding a house or selling your own house all the way to closing, getting your keys. He's going to take care of every single step. You don't have to worry about anything. And we also got a mortgage guy that'll take care of you as well. So give Eric Haynes a call with the Eric Haynes Group at 816-729-3785.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who.
Proud sponsor of Chiefs Who. As we bring in the rest of the gang, Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd. And before we get started, Andre, you're rocking the Cardinals cap. They had a great win, down 15 points in the second half. They go into Philly and they beat the mighty runner-up Super Bowl losers, the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a great game to watch, but I thought about you during that game, and afterwards I thought, yeah, every dog has a day in a year on a bad football team, and you had yours on Sunday.
Man, you know what? Thanks for the love, man. You know, I felt it in my spirit because everybody knows my dog.
Who cares? Don't all care about what you got to say.
Let me give my space, young Bo. All right,
go ahead. I'll mess with you.
Kyler Murray went out there and showed everybody how good Kyler Murray is on the big stage, man. He went out there, executed the game plan, looked good, looked sharp. You know, this is the third or fourth game. Looks sweet. Now he's comfortable with the offense. That's all I'm gonna say there. So there's no Caleb Williams talk, okay, guys?
Tell him about Williams number talk. 6. Tell him about number 6.
James
Dre.
Conner, the beast from the East. James Conner is
free agent.
We're signing him back. No, he would not go nowhere. No, James Conner is so underrated, man. He's probably one of the best all-around backs in the league, man. He does it all, man. So again, shout out to Connor and my guys. Good game. Great win.
That's all the Cardinals talk you get. Let's go.
Shout out. Well, wait a second.
I got to cut me off.
I got to shout out my hometown, Erie, Pennsylvania. We don't get too much run during the NFL season, but when James Conner does his thing, coming back to PA, took the Steelers' hearts where he played early on, took the Eagles' hearts. So he came back and kind of showed Pennsylvania what they're missing. But I love James Conner, Erie McDowell Trojan, proud
the contract, the rest of his soul, Terrell Paylor. The contract year is undefeated.
Yeah, that's right, man.
A lot of contract years in the NFL this year. Oh my goodness. Good thing the salary cap's going up.
Kareem just said he rooted for Conner when he got the Eric Berry Cancer College. Let me see. He got the Eric Berry Cancer in college. Yeah, he was, and he overcame it, man.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he overcame it, man. You know, big deal, man. Love it.
Good. All right.
Well, speaking of Eagles,
speaking of college, was one guy that a lot of people passed off in the 7th round, and that's Isaiah Pacheco. Everybody want to talk about his running style, how he runs. You know what I mean? They said he runs like he's been shot out of a cannon. He runs like a Scooby-Doo character.
He's running from a bank robbery, man. He's
angry at the ground. He's very upset with the ground.
He runs like a villain.
Some people said Tasmanian Devil. Some people said he's Mario when he get the magic mushroom. Well, I don't know, man. Well, I feel like it was a steal. I feel like it was a steal coming out in the 7th round. I see that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to create an image for that one because they do run about the same.
Sound effects by the coach.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh,
nice.
man.
Henry's been practicing that all morning.
It's a team effort, man.
So what you got to say about him, Lou? What you got to say about Isaiah Pacheco?
Well, we talked a little bit about him last show. For those of you that listen, this might be a little bit of a rerun, but we talked about Veach and how it was a 7th round pick. And like before the draft, he's like dropping little hints that, we're probably going to be able to find, viable running backs in the 7th round this year. And little did we know that it was going to be Pops. What a revelation. And you just don't think of too many guys coming from Rutgers, being, top flight NFL players. Outside of the McCourty twins, you might get a few here and there, Sebastian Joseph Day. I get that. But as far as offensive talent, you just haven't seen it lately. And here he is, and he's every bit the character. I love when he does his little dances in the end zone on the sideline. And whenever he gets the ball, at least 15 times, the Chiefs win. And you'd think is it that simple? But no, he's just a productive guy. And I love his style, his energy, everything he brings to the team. And he's kind of like the heartbeat now. And I think if we're going to be successful in the playoffs, he's going to be leading the way.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I agree. I think if the Chiefs run this game plan they ran against the Bengals and they feature the running game and they sprinkle it to Rice, and at some point Kelsey's going to break out. It's just inevitable. This week it's going to be a lot of Kadarius Toney, Mecole Hardman, Justin Ross. So maybe one of those guys steps up. But listen, MVS isn't going to play. So for me, Pacheco's the key. Pacheco's the key to getting to the Super Bowl. It's just that simple. If he's running for 100 yards and he's catching passes and they use him in the screen game, the Chiefs have been successful in the screen game, but they really haven't done a lot of it this year. And I think they're obviously saving that for the postseason. But what I thought was spectacular about what he did Sunday, and I think I mentioned this Monday, there was nobody behind him to play in this game. It was all him. And I think that shows that he can take on that responsibility. He can take the workload. He's coming off a concussion where his own guy hit him in the head. He kept his helmet on all game, which is a big bonus.
That's good.
So I think that's key. But for me, I'm just glad that Pacheco is getting his due. They finally figured out how to use him, rest him this week, and get him ready for the playoffs.
Most definitely. I agree. Pac do look good, man. Like I told y'all, like I said it before, I like Pac. He's the answer. He's the answer for the Chiefs going into the playoffs, man. A good dose of him and a good defense. Hey, what Spags like to do on defense, right? Schematically, he's fantastic at doing what he do. And he used Pac in the screen game, right? No turnovers. We're fine. Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. Easy.
Well, we still got a little ways to go before we can make that, but it's the right formula.
I feel like this, man. Use Isaiah Pacheco, put Travis Kelce out as a wide receiver, put Noah Gray as as a tight end for now. I think they're gonna mix it up when they come in the playoffs. I think we're gonna see the old Chiefs for real. I just get that feeling. I feel like it was all a scam. Just to get Patrick Mahomes on the road.
Possum.
They play possum, get him on the road for the playoffs. Then he just turned back to, it's just gonna be a magical year of a horse race to the finish line.
Yep.
Running through Baltimore, but it's all gonna end in Miami with the Chiefs versus Tyreek Hill heading to the Super Bowl. And where Patrick Mahomes won his first Super Bowl with Isaiah. They're gonna have Isaiah Pacheco playing Damon Williams' role. Is going to be looking like the old Chiefs in the Super Bowl versus the 49ers. It's going to be great. Hey, Rice already looking like Sammy Watkins.
He looks better than Sammy Watkins.
The Sammy Watkins play, that was the same play they ran on Richard Sherman. The same exact play that they ran in the Super Bowl with that D shot to Rice was the same play. It was the same exact play. So having Isaiah Pacheco coming out of here to be who's seen this one coming? Who seen this one coming?
Brett Pete saw it coming.
Yeah. Okay, not to break the segment, but and I don't know, Hense, if you've got a graphic about this, but word out of New York is Dalvin Cook is being released. We kind of hitting around at it a little bit, during, in the chat group that we're in. What do you do? I don't. Well, first he has to make it through waivers, right? So I think
he's a vested veteran. I'm not sure he does, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I think at this time, I don't know. I don't know all the rules, but
let me text the expert.
All right. So if he has to go through waivers by 4:00 today, if everybody passes, then he's a free agent moving forward. Okay, if that's the way I understand it. Now again, it might be different, but I guess it's going to be a playoff contending team that picks him up. There's not going to be some team that is playing out the string. They agreed to. He gave up his Week 18 game check in order to do this. Do you guys think that this might be a worthy signing? Hense mentioned Therese Paler before, and he had something called the All Juice team.
Yep.
Does Dalvin Cook have any juice left? We haven't seen it. I think this is where you got to lean on your pro personnel people to say, okay, we believe he still has it. Let's go get it.
It doesn't hurt if he got, right now Chiefs are running in practice squad players.
Right.
Why not have a Cook and Isaiah Pacheco? You know what I mean? Cook still can catch out the backfield.
Yeah,
that's key. That's key thing too. So he was a good run blocker over there in Indianapolis when he was down there in Minnesota. I mean, I'm not saying Indianapolis, but Minnesota. He was down there in Minnesota. So hey, it don't hurt to help. You know what I mean? You'd rather, if I'm the Chiefs, I'd rather have him than Dallas, or he goes over there to
Baltimore.
Not Baltimore.
He won't get any playing time there. He knows.
He go there to Cleveland. He go over there to Cleveland. And hey, is it more dangerous team?
Roster spots are at a premium, especially this time of year and playoff.
How with the Chiefs though? We got a lot of roster spots open.
Well,
you got another roster spot.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. I think the only thing with Cook is that's the question you have to ask. Do you believe he still has anything in the tank? Because you would much prefer a younger guy that's got everything in the tank that might not be quite as experienced. But again, it's if you believe that he's got that juice, absolutely. I mean, he can catch the ball. He would be dynamic. Kind of what we were looking for out of Shady, out of Le'Veon Bell, but it never quite came about.
Yeah, they don't need him to do much. They need him to take 5 or 6, maybe 10 snaps a game. Let him go out there and run a couple of plays, maybe do a screen pass. Just give Pacheco enough of a little rest. So I mean, Pacheco's had like 3 or 4 separate injuries this year, including the new one, which is the calf, which came up on Sunday. So he's injury prone. It doesn't hurt to have an experienced guy. McKinnon's not coming back. He's not going to be ready to play in the playoffs. Even if they get to the Super Bowl, chances are very slim that he'd have a chance to get activated. So I think you sign him if you can.
That's the blow.
Listen. I said this, guys. Use what Parker's using. Use the mushroom from Mario Brothers. Put that thing behind Cook. You should be fine. Get that.
So you have Isaiah Pacheco and Brandon Cook, Rashid Rice,
Dalvin Cook. Right.
Dalvin Cook. You have Isaiah Pacheco. They're good middle of the offensive line. Brandon. I'm with Cook. I keep on getting his name wrong. You got Cook. Then you got Rashid Rice. You got Travis Kelce. And then you have, I feel like that would get you over the edge. Me. I think so. Giving Isaiah Pacheco some rest, got
It's good insurance.
Good insurance to have
Yeah,
on the offense.
And it ain't going to cost very much. It's going to cost basically 1/18 of his salary.
Yeah,
All
I get this sense it's got Dallas Cowboys written all over it.
I don't know,
what's
man.
crazy, guys? You know what's crazy? 'Cause honestly, guys, we talk all this running game stuff. I get that, man. But who's gonna catch the dang ball?
One man only and one man only. Rasheed Rice. I would like to set you up just fine for that one, didn't I?
You sure did. Alley-oop.
He is their offense right now.
Rasheed Rice, man. Hey, he's first after the catch out of all receivers in the NFL. He leads the lead in after the catch yards. Now, when we first started,
who drafted him? Who drafted him?
So,
who traded up for him?
But they passed on this guy and passed on that guy.
But again,
sleep at the switch.
But again, who gave this man love all year? When we first started the show, I did. I said, give this man the ball. Now look, I compared him. Everybody laughed at me. Some people inboxed me, said I was crazy. I could compare them to Larry Fitzgerald. I see Larry Fitzgerald written all over this guy. The best you could get for, I feel like it. The route running, the Larry Fitzgerald, he catch the ball. Everybody didn't know Larry Fitzgerald had the speed. Everybody thought he was a yak master, man. He catch the ball, he was gone. He catch the ball. Nobody turned up to feel like that. All you see them dregs running right down the field, man. Go ahead.
Just think of the drops, what his yards would be without some of those drops.
Mm-hmm.
He had some potentially really, really big plays that would probably put him at the 1,100, maybe 1,200 plateau for the season. And then we're talking about something completely different. But, he is their number one wide receiver. He has become Sammy Watkins and Juju Smith-Schuster all built together. He's sitting down on routes now. I mean, the play he made Sunday, which was basically his ability to read the blitz and knew that if he went inside, he'd have leverage. And from Holmes to see it as well. That didn't happen in the first half of the year with Rice. He didn't make those kind of adjustments on the fly. And obviously he's learning now, and it's a lot different. But, man, oh, man, just thank God we have him, because I'm telling you right now, without Rice and without the Chiefs' defense, there's absolutely no way the Chiefs are even in the playoffs at this point.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
And I can't believe I just said that.
Like Lou stated before, the short yardage touchdowns that he missed. I forgot what game was it. I think that was Chicago. He had two touchdowns in that game, and it came up inches short. But the guy, man, hey, like I was talking to Dre before the show. I talked to Dre. I said, everybody want to say Marvin Harrison. Everybody want to say Marvin Harrison Jr. Everybody want to say this player, that player, this player. But you got to look at them small schools. You got to look at everybody else and what everybody not looking at, because who you have? Tank Dell. You know what I mean? He was, Tank Dell, Rasheed Rice. Who else? Who's the dude? Josh Down.
Puka Nacua.
Come on.
The guy at the top.
Yeah, Puka Nacua. Yeah, that's what
he actually was at Washington and transferred to BYU and really didn't, he didn't have a great senior season. So that's why, we were talking earlier about scouting and so forth. That's a lot to it. But Jaden Reed from Michigan State, he wasn't, I don't think he was regarded quite that high coming out. Josh Downs from North Carolina quietly had a great year with the Colts. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. You got to scour. And
speaking of that, you're gonna want to come back to Chiefs Blitz, because how we broke down the draft last year on both Time Sports Show, we're also gonna bring it down. We're gonna bring it here to Chiefs Blitz. We already got our team. So, like a lot of players that we talked about before, I can honestly say that I actually missed Rasheed Rice. I didn't see this one coming. I didn't. When they drafted him, I had to go back and look at the tape. Like I told Dre before the show, I said, Dre, I watched Rasheed Rice tape for a whole month. I watched the whole month. I was like, what is the Chiefs getting out of this guy? What did the Chiefs get out of the guy? Then I had to go look at it from a different standpoint. I said, Okay, let me look at it again. I said, oh, he catching the ball and taking off with it. I said, then I came back to Dre. I said, bro, he looks like Larry Fitzgerald to me.
Yeah.
I said, that's what he reminds me of, Larry Fitzgerald. And everybody's like, oh no, but hey, like Lou said, you got to go scour. You got to scour, man. You got to go out there and look.
You got to look beyond statistics sometimes, and you know, for Rice, you know, yards after the catch. You know, a lot of teams put a lot of focus on that, but other teams don't. You know, it's make the big play, get the first down. You know, he has the ability to he's never going to be a breakaway receiver. He's not going to outrun you. It's just not his thing, but he catches the ball. He runs great routes. He gets the yak. He gets penalties called on him. And again, he was number one in college. Number one in college the year before was Sky Moore. So, you know, a 50-50 hit is good enough for me in the NFL. It's better than an 0-2. And again, you guys were just lucky. He came out of nowhere. We all saw he had talent. You know, he had all those yips and the drops and the mistakes running routes. And, you know, even in the loss against the Raiders, you know, he had a huge mistake where he didn't sit down. Would have been a first down. Chiefs could have scored on that drive. Instead, they punted. You know, these are things that he learns, and it's all getting ready for the postseason to where now, okay, opposing defenses now know after the Bengals game, okay, this guy can line up inside and beat us. He can line up outside and beat us. That means we're probably going to have a safety over the top.
He come out the backfield and beat.
What's going to happen? It's going to open up Kelsey to maybe he's only got 2 guys on him instead of being bracketed by 3. And if any other receiver emerges with like Watson, if they keep throwing the ball deep to Watson, they're going to have to double his speed. So I think if you look at the game that we saw on Sunday, I think you saw the blueprint. This is what the Chiefs are this year. That's the best they're going to play. I think they can score more touchdowns versus field goals. But, you know, as Kelsey pointed out today on his podcast this morning, you know, they're once the Chiefs hit the 15-yard line, they're playing goal line defense. And if they don't take advantage of the open space up front and try to run the ball more, which is something I think they'll do in the playoffs, it's going to be a lot tougher to score points in the red zone. They're almost better off trying to go 30 yards or 35 yards out, you know, to get a play over the top or make a nice crossing pattern and, you know, have somebody actually catch the ball. Unlike Mr. MBS,
but all those cute plays inside the 5, Nick.
They're done, man. You can't run them anymore.
No, stop.
You know,
those ain't sexy no more. These plays are not sexy no more, guys.
And you know what's fascinating too?
It's beautiful when it works.
Yeah, the 3rd and 10 to Pacheco. The defense was back in the back of the end zone. I mean, it just made no sense to me that they weren't tighter up front. You had all those safeties lined in the back and linebackers, you know, back. It didn't make any sense. You knew the Chiefs were going to throw the ball, even in the formation with the 4 guys where Pacheco catches the pass. You know, there was only 3 defenders in the area. So again, props to the Chiefs for picking Rice. Props to them for sticking with it. Props to Rice for just being a man out there. I mean, he's never hit the rookie wall ever. And he's made mistakes.
I'll mention that word.
But the game has not been too big for him at this level. And, you know, the same thing happened to Karlaftis last year. He never, and McDuffie, they never hit that wall. And if these are the kind of players that Veach continues to draft in key positions.
To the scouting department.
I mean, kudos, man. These are the guys that played game 1 through game 17, 18 the same way. And they didn't get tired. They learned from their mistakes and they grew. And listen, 2023 is a massive disappointment for the players, the coaches, and the fans. We went through a lot of unnecessary angst watching these football games. But now, you know, they have a plan, and it's going to be interesting to see if they stick to it. But again, Mr. Veach, man, thank you for Rice, to Patrick, who worked with him before they was even drafted. You know, when you have that advantage, now Patrick's not really good at bringing in veteran free agent wide receivers yet, but he certainly is good at working these young wide receivers that have a chance to come to Kansas City. So, you know, we got to work on that.
That's his brotherhood with Travis Kelce.
In the chat, Dre?
Oh, well, you know, my guy Kareem says, I still see Debo 2.0 with more speed. John Harrison says this. He said the way Rice catches and turns up the field immediately, no wasted movements, reminds me of how Rod Smith played. If y'all little young cats don't know who Rod Smith is, you should look him up. He was a phenomenal receiver for
he played for that team in Colorado, man.
Absolutely. And then only John says this too. He said on the play MVS drop, Rice was doubted. Rice was double. Hopefully they let Hardman run those miss routes, crossing routes. Remember back when Hardman caught the crossing route and got 25 yards in 13-second game? Right before Kelsey's game winner, they need him back in the field. I disagree because Hardman, he's too tender. He's too tender. That man, he's too tender.
That's the sad thing is we have to go back to a particular play. Remember when this guy did this, and it was the only time all year.
Remember back in the day, the Chiefs was Chiefs.
Make sure you unmute yourself, Nick.
The cool thing about Rice is that he seems to be the only one that's kind of gone past the drops. Yeah. Everybody else, it seems like everybody else is still kind of fighting that for some reason. So
everybody else but Ross. Everybody but
for
Ross.
all the for
it's
all
a little,
the angst,
it's a little oompa doop on their hands. That's what it is. A little
that the wide receiver coach is taking. He's got Rice playing right. So
bring back the stick him or stick the hands in the Gatorade thing.
They got the little oompa dooper hands. That's what they is.
Right. You know what? Don't maybe make a meme. Don't maybe make a meme about that, bro.
Hey, don't mess with the Wonkas. It's Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa.
Hey, they should come out every time MVS drop the ball. They should come out from the sideline.
The little orange face.
You see them taking them off the field. I put it like this: one guy that actually won the game for the Chiefs. Won Special Teams Player of the Week. The butt kicker himself. Congratulations!
Look at that fine gentleman. That's 007, man. That should be the next 007.
That's a great name for him.
Can he do it?
I don't know who his tailor is. I don't know if it's Dan the Tailor Man or not. But man, oh man, that guy dresses.
Can he do an English accent? Because he's like the perfect gentleman.
008. That's the nickname for him. 007, man. 007 comes out.
Hey, look at he's groomed to the T, ain't he?
Licensed to kill.
Yeah. He killed the Bengals season.
He kicked them right out the playoffs. Literally.
I mean, you get to eliminate the Bengals and the Broncos in the same game. I mean, does it get any sweeter to be a Chiefs fan than knowing that they're both out? And, of course, the Raiders, who are going to stick with Antonio Pierce, and they're going to regret it. So we'll see.
I don't know. Did they learn their lesson with Bisaccio? No, they're going to keep the interim.
You can't have a rah-rah coach. Look what's happening in Philly this year. You got a rah-rah coach, and he's just failing with the X's and O's of that.
All right, are we ready to go there? Are we ready to go with Philly and their coaches and start that? They get rid of Doug Peterson after winning the Super Bowl.
Their ownership.
Kelly won 10 games like 2-3 years in a row.
They don't care.
They never say he was good anyway. They said this man is probably one of the worst head coaches in Philly.
Hey, come on now.
As far as, well,
I mean, he's a good cheerleader. He's a good cheerleader.
But again, back on 007.
All right, let's go back in the back. I split off the rails.
Let's give Harrison.
We'll do that on Monday. We'll do that on Monday.
It's four guys at the bar. It's four guys at the bar, guys.
Okay. Back on butt kicker. You know what I mean? And who went to go get him from the where he was at? You know when he was on the Carolina Panthers, but who went to go pick him up?
Brett Beach.
Was that you?
The guy that they don't give him no credit. Brett Beach. They went out here and got this man, one of the best kickers that's behind the guy that's down in down in the Purple Land or with the dinosaurs, the Barney team, Baltimore Ravens, right. Dinosaurs. I'll put it like this: if it comes down to it, when it comes down to the best kickers in the league, they kick it and they get to kick it off, kick them right to the Super Bowl. it could come down to Chiefs in Baltimore. You know, my buddy. Again, guys, congratulations to this guy. He kicked us all the way into the you know what I mean, the AFC champion, not AFC, but NFC. I'm having to hold on. Get it together.
Easy time.
He kicked us right in. Also, he kicked the Bengals right after the playoffs. So it's a great congratulations to him. He earned it, man. He earned it all. You know what I mean. He put up more points than Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
That game. So that
He
now,
did.
what an awesome year for that.
All right, I want to go back to John Harrison because he put a good thing up here. You don't think Hardman can make a difference? Go watch what he did against the Niners. I'm with you, John. You and I are on the same page. I would rather he get MVS's routes. I think he could do the same thing. He's a good blocker down the field. No offense, Andre, but when you got that kind of speed, and if he can just muster up just enough to, even if he's a decoy out there, he's going to be a bigger advantage on the field than MVS because I think Hardman can make those kind of plays. And he doesn't have to be special or flashy. He's done it before. That's why he's going to be such a huge focal point of the offense this week in San Diego.
Could he be like the third down back?
He could be. He should be.
Not necessarily going to take over, specifically what everything that Jet McKinnon would do, but you could certainly put him back there, and that's going to be defensive matchup nightmare because if all of a sudden you see linebacker against number 12, it's going to be like, bug eyes for Mahomes and say, okay, here we go. That's a matchup we can beat here. So that might be something a little bit off the beaten path that where he can kind of have a role and not necessarily have to be a high volume wide receiver.
Yeah, he doesn't. Go ahead.
So basically, y'all all go for Miko Hardman playing the MVS role.
Correct. 100%.
Give him an opportunity.
He can't do any. What's he going to do? Any worse?
That's true.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing you say about Ross.
He doesn't have a history. And Ross is playing a different role. Ross is playing the Rice role.
Man, what is he playing, man?
Listen,
you watch this weekend.
Rice is not going to play in this game.
Blaine Gabbert to Justin Ross this weekend is going to be the hottest.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Over 200 yards receiving.
They are throwing the rock this weekend. You watch. They are going to throw.
I know the press conference happened. I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah, Blake basically said that they were gonna be chucking the ball.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna sit the starters.
Patrick Mahomes is out. He said Blake Gabbert said that Ross and McCole Hardman are going to get a lot of love on the football field.
Okay, yeah, Richie James is probably going to get some.
Yeah, run. Richie will get some snaps
Watson
too.
Will get some run.
Yeah, and Kadarius Toney as well. He's 100% healthy. Yeah. He said also he'd be getting a lot of reps too. So listen, I rotate the pass. I throw the ball to those three guys nonstop. Kelsey plays the first series, gets his 15 yards, goes sits in the stands with Taylor Swift, and relaxes the rest of the game.
Man, could you imagine how Twitter go freaking crazy if that happened? If he actually went and sat.
Hey, Coach, can I go sit with my girlfriend for the rest of the game? I'll give you a bird's eye coaching view.
All these anti-NFL guys would be coming out of the woodwork. Clicks everywhere. Oh my God. The NFL has exploded. That's it. No one will ever watch again.
Speaking of bird's eyes, man, there's one guy that's had 81 targets this season and gave up 0 touchdowns allowed.
That's just insane.
Insane. I mean, insane that they're like that. It's the same that he put up these type of numbers, even though he gonna be so he'll go down. They probably gonna sit Snead too. He's gonna go down at one of the best corners that had one of the best corner seasons this year.
Right.
And I'm hoping that the Chiefs go ahead and sign him. Don't wait, till the offseason. Go ahead and get the deal done. Strike a deal before the playoffs. That's what I would do. But again, man, 81 targets on the season. Not just like any season, like today's NFL, where it's offensive friendly. It's pass heavy, and this guy gave up 0. Let that sink in. 0
Yeah.
Zero touchdowns.
The only thing he needs to do in the next 2 weeks is sign.
Yeah,
that
he is.
contract.
He's more physical than Sauce is. Honestly, to be honest, Snead's probably the best all-around D-back in the league right now. From blitzing, playing safety, playing slot, playing on the outside. Snead can do it all. And that's why I'm so high on Snead getting signed this year, man.
Perfect Spags player. Perfect.
Man, fits him perfectly, man. So yeah, Snead's
now, I do have a little insight. I did speak to someone yesterday about Snead, and there is a strong contingency within the coaching staff and the front office to try to work something out with him. So I think he will be the number one priority. I think Chris Jones will be probably priority 3 or 4. But I think if they had to make a choice right now, they are going to give the money to Snead versus Jones. So I did speak to someone yesterday. So again, I thought in the beginning of the year, there's no way, with the knee issue, but that knee really hasn't been much of a problem this whole season. And kudos to this kid. I mean, he's doing something that you just don't see.
Rick Burkholder, man.
Yeah, Rick Burkholder. Give me some glue and some duct tape, and I can get anybody out on the field.
There was some noise out there where maybe they were going to give Chris Jones his bonus for 10 sacks, and maybe it was just stirred up by somebody on Twitter. But can you see that, Nick, as some sort of goodwill for bringing Jones back? Or you can't really do it legally, but make that part of the extension?
It's very simple. It's very simple for the Chiefs. As long as Chris Jones is represented by the Katz brothers, he will not get another deal in Kansas City. It's just, there is nothing.
That was embarrassing.
There is nothing that image is going to linger. That first loss could have been the difference between being a 3 and a 2 seed. That could have maybe changed the trajectory of the season. And what did he end up doing? He basically got his fine paid. Well, it's not like he couldn't afford it to begin with, but you can't embarrass the organization. And it wasn't even the Katz brothers that negotiated the contract, guys. It was Chris Jones and Brett Veach hammering it out in his office and saying, okay, I'm coming back. I'm sorry. I'll take the deal you offered, the 3-year deal, which would have been great for him and good for the Chiefs. And she said, nope, I'm not going to pay you that. After what you put us through, no way. You want to play, this is how we're going to do it. And they restructured his contract. They basically gave him enough incentives to where he can make an extra $800,000 this year, which he'll probably end up making. But to answer your question, Lou, I mean, goodwill gestures are great. If you want to make a goodwill gesture, then put his buddy Frank Clark on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Don't give him more gear. Don't let him earn another bonus because honestly,
we were probably
he hasn't earned it.
We probably talked about it earlier in the seat, like while he was holding out, but it's not like the Katz brothers have this like laundry list of great players.
No, they got nobody.
So I don't know if you know, or maybe one of the other guys, what is his relationship to these guys that he feels like? He had to have seen everything, all the fallout from this.
Yeah,
they were. You know what? Maybe this isn't the best way to go.
He was originally with Drew Rosenhaus, and these two guys left Drew, and they needed a signature client, and so they convinced Chris that he's their guy. They're the guys. They're going to take care of him. He got a pretty good contract the last go around with the 3-year, $4 million to $20 million. He got paid very well. But when it came to the offseason, I mean, I can tell you they were this close to getting a deal done several times until the Katz brothers, came in for more because they kept seeing all the other contracts. And if they're going to build a good company and a good brand,
got greedy, man.
Getting him over $100 million was the key market. That was never happening.
Right.
Chris knew that, but he let him do it. And then he finally said, I had enough. And listen, I love Chris Jones. I wish he'd play at a higher level outside of big plays and big games. The first quarter is just as important as the fourth quarter in my book, but he's smart enough to know that the Chiefs aren't going to do business with him again as long as those two agents are involved.
Yeah. So basically, they left a bad taste. The Chris brothers was the Chris brothers, right?
Katz.
Cat's
my
Bush.
bad. The Cat's Bush left a bad taste in the Kingdom's mouth because me and Bolton was talking earlier in the season. I said I don't care for him no more. I don't care. This team went to war, and then remember, I think it was a ceremony. Right? And he was up here in the bleachers.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sit-
should have been
sit-
down.
sit-
He,
I'm good.
couldn't be on the field. He couldn't be on the field because if he did, then that meant that they'd have to do something with him. You know, he couldn't be on the field with a team. He could be in upstairs. He could go in the locker room. But if he's on the field on the sidelines as a guy who's basically a holdout, then they would have had to have made some sort of decision before he could do that. So listen, I love Chris Jones. He's always stated he wants to end his career in Kansas City, but you pay number 38. You're not going to find a better corner in the draft. You still got McDuffie. You're going to have to pay in 2 years. You've got, you know, and that gives you two of the better. I mean, these are two really good, great corners.
You put a great on there.
Great. This in Chiefs history.
Okay.
You got to go to Albert Lewis, and Ross.
Marcus Peters.
Marcus Peters was good, but I'm talking about as a combo. Lewis and Ross. Lewis and Ross were the best in Kansas State Chiefs history.
Over
And
Brandon
these two guys
Flowers?
are very similar. I'm talking about a duo. Having two starters on the same
Now
field.
give the other guys some love too, Nick. The safeties, Kevin Ross and Duron Cherry, or not Kevin Ross, but the Lloyd Burris from Maryland and Duron Cherry. That was arguably the best defensive backfield I've ever seen.
Yeah, no,
what about
you're right.
Patrick 13? What about Patrick 13 and Brandon Flowers?
Patrick was great.
It was
opposite
duo.
Patrick.
Wasn't Brandon Flowers the opposite of Patrick 13?
I don't think so. No,
I don't
He
think
may
so.
have been for a short time.
No, they brought Ty Law. If I'm not mistaken, they brought Ty Law.
It was Ty Law.
Yeah, they Herm brought Ty Law.
It was Ty Law and was it
now Ty Law?
Flowers?
Ty Law was one of the great corners too. You know, maybe just in New England when he left New England and he wasn't the same.
No, because he came in from Romeo Cannell. Because remember, Romeo Cannell was a defensive coordinator at the time, and Ty Law was with Romeo Cannell.
You don't know what you're talking about. It's your Cardinals
trying to recreate all that Patriot stuff.
Am
I correct though? Is Romeo Cannell, Ty Law, right? That's the same thing with Charlie Watts and Matt Castle, right?
Right. He went to Jets, and then Herm came to Kansas City, and he brought him here. And listen, but Brandon Flowers, you made a good point too. He was terrific. I got a soft spot for Brandon because the night I proposed to my wife Emily, he was at the restaurant and he came up to me. He came up to me and he came up to us and said, "Congrats." So I'll always have. He's always got a place.
So we're just gonna diss Marcus Peters like that. Marcus Peters,
horrible.
He's a jerk. It's a jerk.
That was just a shorter sample.
Give me Marcus Peters and Ladarius Sneed on the same team and Trent McDuffie in the slot. You ain't going on that defense.
The only thing he did, he had a good right hook to his defensive coordinator in the locker room, and that's it.
Well, he shouldn't have been talking stuff.
Marcus.
Marcus. Oh God! Wait! We got a comment, guys. Dave says there's a risk that no Chris Jones means CBs will have to cover longer and Sneed and McDuffie. Well, let me answer that question. Honestly, we have a good rotation of guys right now that has been getting pressure at will. You know, Chris Jones is a stud, but we got a good rotation of guys to where on the back end we should be just fine. And the way Spaz calls defense now, we should be good just fine.
I just seen that. Dave, you commenting on Twitter, let me know yes or not. I was trying to see this. We started to get comments on Twitter.
It's on Twitter. It's on Twitter.
Okay, so we finally get comments on Twitter now. So I guess
look at that.
I did something right.
So all you that are commenting, join our Twitter space.
Join Dave.
Post game. Are we doing one this week?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun this week. Yeah,
TBD.
No. We'll figure that out.
But a leave off before we leave off a sneak and go into the sponsor.
Blaine Gabbert, come on, man.
Sponsor
He's
again.
gonna have a day.
Blaine's gonna put 35 points.
No,
wait a second. You got to leave some space for the fastest growing game on the internet on YouTube
we ain't do that. We ain't into that yet.
Hold on, Lou.
I'm getting ready, man. I'm juiced. I'm pumped up.
So before we lead off Sneed, So you give Steve that contract. Everybody agree, right?
Yes.
Top
Everybody
of market, highest paid corner in the league.
Snead, listen. 81 targets. Listen, no TDs.
And the price of business in New York for Sauce Gardner just goes through the roof when his deal finally comes up.
Okay, sign Snead, and also, sign my guy. So let's go into the next sponsor for the show. Go ahead, Dick.
All right, I want to talk about my good friend Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. If you're looking for someone who can look at your analysis, do an analysis on your current financial situation to see if you qualify for a mortgage, good news is interest rates are going down, which is great, which means inventory is going to be up, which means the price of houses is going to go up. So if you just kind of look in to find out where you stand, what you can qualify for, give Dave Purdy a call at 816-405-5831. Again, you got to find someone you trust. Dave's working on a mortgage for me right now, as me and Mrs. Chief Blitz are looking for a house. I'm completely covered with both of our sponsors. I know we're going to be taken care of. But listen, it's a tough choice. It's a weird time of year. The market's been soft, but it's still a great time right now to start looking and buying a house. And you need a financial expert in the lending game, and that's Dave Purdy. You can reach him at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is
pretty good.
So looking into the playoffs pictures, guy. You know what I mean? So before we break this down, what do you guys think about the Chiefs' chances or whatever you want to take? When you let the Magic Man in, you let him in the door and you start doing the tricks. The Chiefs still going to go all the way. It doesn't matter to me.
Listen, man, you've been
Cleveland, Jacksonville, Buffalo. It doesn't. Indy, Miami. It doesn't matter to me. The Chiefs are still going to go all the way. So, number 1 seed, number 2 seed, number 6 seed doesn't matter. We have Patrick Mahomes. That's all that matters. So, what do you think about this, Dick?
Well, listen, I think the Chiefs have the best second best defense in the AFC right now behind Baltimore. I put Cleveland at number 3. Just for the fact that this is new to them this year. They've got an offense that's playing well, but the scenarios are pretty simple. If Buffalo wins, Miami's the team. If Miami, Jacksonville, Houston win, it's Houston. Miami, Jacksonville, Indy, it's Indy. Miami, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, it's Pittsburgh. Miami, Tennessee, Baltimore, it's Buffalo. And if Buffalo loses and Jacksonville and Pittsburgh win, they're out of the playoffs, which I would find absolutely hilarious. But let's just assume the seedings are what they are.
That's terrible.
Oh, yeah, got to throw that in there. And that would be delicious, too. I would love that. But anyway, listen, the Baltimore Ravens are the best team in the AFC right now on paper. They're blowing people out. Cleveland is going to beat Jacksonville, and it's going to be a slaughter. And when that happens, Cleveland's going to go to Baltimore. And Joe Flacco is going to have this revenge on the Baltimore Ravens, for letting him go. And I think that's the perfect game. I'm going to be all Cleveland Browns. I might even find some Cleveland Browns stuff to wear because I just want to see that. Because
they beat them early this year.
I don't think the Ravens can get to the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson still. I think in the big game, one and done, he's played well. And Mike Florio, blasted the Ravens, and they beat some really good football teams. But let's be honest, the guys won one playoff game. How many games has Patrick Mahomes won? And then the bottom side of the bracket, Indianapolis will definitely upset Miami. If it's Buffalo, I don't think the Bills can beat the Chiefs twice. I just don't see it. The history of this rivalry is they usually split, whether it's the regular season or the playoffs. Obviously, in the regular season, the Chiefs haven't done as well, but in the playoffs, they've won. So it's going to be difficult. So there's a scenario where it's possible it's the 3 seed with an upset of the 2 seed and the 3 seed, or the 2 seed and the 1 seed, where Kansas City could host the AFC title game for the 6th time.
There is still a path.
There is a path. Even if some of these teams flip a little bit, it doesn't matter. The best 3 teams are Baltimore, Kansas City, and Buffalo in the AFC. So anything can happen, including
Who are you fearing? You fearing Lamar Jackson? No.
No. I'm not saying I fear. I'm not saying I fear anybody.
No.
I'm just listen. I'm old enough, and Lou is old enough to remember.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're the 1 seed, the 6, or the 7 seed. You got a chance
on the show.
It just doesn't matter.
No, I'm not sleeping on the show, young.
I don't care if the Chiefs are on the road, which I'd like to see. I don't fear any of these teams. I fear the other things, the penalties, the drop passes, the poor officiating. The fact that the officiating crew from the Lions game is getting a primetime game Saturday night with Pittsburgh and Baltimore just is shocking. Now, they can't go into postseason, so we'll throw them a carrot. I mean, these are the things that concern me. The Chiefs have 6 losses this year. In every one of those games, they have beaten themselves with penalties, turnovers, and drops. In all the games that they've won, they've reduced the penalties, turnovers, and drops. So they have the winning formula. This is a mental game at this point. And I don't care how talented Baltimore is or how talented Miami is or Buffalo is. If the Chiefs play like they did against the Bengals and the defense gives up 18 to 21 points, nobody's going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. That's simple. It ain't going to be Baltimore. It's not going to be Cleveland. It's not going to be Jacksonville. It's not going to be Buffalo, Indianapolis, or Miami. If the Chiefs turn the ball over, they drop passes, and they have penalties, and the officiating is off, it's going to be a struggle for them. That's the only thing I fear.
Nick took the whole segment.
They're just not. They're just. I don't think that the Chiefs just aren't good enough this year to overcome those mistakes.
Beat on the ball for us.
That's the only thing that I think there is to fear. Okay, is that the Chiefs cannot overcome those mistakes like they used to be able in the past, where they could score in 3-4 plays, and it was like, we're just going to get more shots on goal than you, and we're going to win. So the margin of victory is a little bit slimmer. But I agree with you completely, is that the Chiefs' biggest opponent is the Chiefs. Just play your game, play clean, lean on the defense, and lean on me. There isn't one team there that you say is coming in here hot other than Baltimore. Cleveland to some degree, but Jacksonville's limping. Buffalo is barely squeaking by the Chargers and New England. Indianapolis, God bless them, great story. I don't know, very inexperienced. The Dolphins are all beat up. Their defense, whatever. So, I mean, there's nothing to fear. Just got to play well, play clean, and we can
stop it, Drake.
All right, Andre, stop it. You're driving me crazy, man.
But honestly, guys, for real, y'all hitting it on the nail.
What was that tune? I
don't know.
That was lean on me.
He said lean on me. Talk about the defense. The Chiefs need to lead on the defense. But again, I don't fear nobody. Look at it, Baltimore. Okay, what quarterback? Come on, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. This is the best coach and quarterback duo that's coming into this playoffs. Experience, been there. Andy Reid, we're on both teams, went on both sides of defenses, NFC and ALC. Best render record. Who you scared of? Flacco? No. The Prince of the South in Jacksonville, Mr. Harry Goldilocks? I guess not. Buffalo Bills, Mr. Matt Curse himself. I don't see him. I don't fear them. You know what I mean? Indianapolis, mustache man. Who you have there? Tua in the can. I'm not scared of Tua, him either. So I feel like the Chiefs will come out and take this all. And who doesn't matter when you let the best team in, you let the best looking man in. He's stealing everybody, girl, and and the Chiefs is gonna steal the game. So I feel like that. I feel like the Chiefs gonna take it all the way to the top. Like Nick said, it's all gonna work its way back to Patrick Mahomes. The AFC.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this real quick, guys. I like all the glow, all the confidence y'all storing to these. Yeah. I love the love. Right. But let's put some respect on Flacco. Flacco is a veteran. Flacco is a Super Bowl champion. Flacco been there. He faced some of the best defense. In his career.
Is he the Super Bowl champion or did he Ray Lewis?
He got experience though. No, Flacco was balling. Flacco was balling that year.
He got $100 million contract out of it.
And he was the first player I ever interviewed. That wasn't a Chiefs player.
There you go.
Nick said it all. Confidence in Flacco, but we still going for Mahomes. Am I correct, Nick?
Yes. Listen, if Mahomes plays like he did Sunday, Chiefs have a good chance to get
efficient, clean.
Yeah.
Clean.
Let's get right into it, man. Speaking of clean, who do you have for us on Chiefs? Who, Lou?
That's for you to find out. Let's go. Right. Let's get this thing rolling. Strike up the band, Hense. Let's go. That's why all these people showed up today. All right. So, Chief who? All right. Here we go. The nickname of his college team is the same as one of his division rivals. He was first team conference as a senior. He played in the Senior Bowl. He had two things in common with one Michael Jordan. The only player from his school to be drafted in the Super Bowl era.
Kareem said Scott Moore.
No. And perhaps his biggest play came on his biggest stage in the AFC Championship game.
Kadarius Toney.
MVS.
No. Kadarius? No. Anything from the Bring in the House crew?
Give me one more. Give me the first clue. Can I have the first clue? I didn't hear the first
clue was his college team had the same nickname as one of his division rivals. Current division rivals.
Oh, Joshua Williams.
There it is. Number 2 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Joshua Williams, yes. He and Michael Jordan, both from North Carolina, both wore number 23 as a rookie.
And who made a really big play at the end of the game.
He made the interception. The Fayetteville State.
You talking about that tip pass, man? That was a
what? Hey! Who caught the ball, Dre? Come on now. He caught it, right? Maybe he should be playing receiver. And his alma mater, the Fayetteville State Broncos.
Oh my God. You're right, Lou. I'll give it to you, Lou. He did make a big play. He caught the pass, Lou. He caught the pass.
All right, there you have it. Todd, TMZ Todd is just all over this Chief who, man.
I did get the definitive answer on Dalvin Cook. Yes, he's not a vested veteran. He will need to clear waivers.
Yeah, so by 4 o'clock today, somebody
4 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock Central time, we'll know.
So you the Chiefs, you put in a waiver claim.
No.
If I was the Chiefs, I would put a waiver claim.
You'd put the claim in? I think I would just wait because I think most teams are just going to pass.
I would put as low as they are in the totem pole.
Because I
put the claim in.
And again, if you put the claim in, he immediately takes up a roster spot. If he's a free agent, you can throw him on the practice squad and then you can play around with your 53.
He's a free agent at the end of the year either way. It makes no difference.
Yep. That makes no difference.
So if they want him.
But what are y'all getting from him, though? He hasn't
right. That's it. Does he still have the juice?
Does he still have the juice?
Yeah.
It can't hurt. Do you have that? Do you have that pock in him?
Yeah.
Do you have that pock in him?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, let's go to our sponsors before we close out.
All right, let's do it. Well, we wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for our sponsors and open up with Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for a real estate advisor, he is your man. You can reach him at 816-729-3785. He sells kc@gmail.com. You want someone you can trust from start to finish, Eric is your guy. Give him a call at 816-729-3785.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who.
Proud sponsor. And Mr. Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. Give Dave a call, 816-405-5831. If you're looking for someone you can trust, you're looking for somebody who is going to take you in every step of a mortgage. Dave's working on a mortgage for me and Mrs. Chief Splits right now. So we're going through the process, and there's a lot of options out there. Rates are coming down. It's a good time to buy. Inventory, there's still good inventory out there, but I need someone that's going to walk me through it. I'm self-employed. It makes a difference in how I qualify for a loan, and he's taking good care of me. Give him a call at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is pretty good.
All right, let me go give a shout out to the gang, right?
Bringing the
Kareem, Vincent, who else? Dave, what up, Dave? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the gang, guy. Give a shout out to John. Let's see what else we got here. Up, that will be it, guys. Keep it coming. We love the love. Don't be shy. Speak your mind. Even though we have a bunch of, I ain't gonna say that. Listen, just speak your mind, guys. Just come over here and speak your mind. All right, have some fun, man. Have some fun.
And shout out to
because somebody on here is a Flacco fan. Somebody on here is a Flacco fan. Underneath the kingdom, he's a Flacco fan. It's okay. It's okay. Like I'm gonna call it.
Flacco gonna go in the playoffs. His tires are gonna be flat.
Delaware hen.
The Delaware hen. That's right.
Delaware hen.
So with that said, man, we will be back Friday at noon. Talking about a Red Friday, but not Red Friday.
It's a Blaine Gabbert Friday.
No, it's a Ross Friday. It's a Ross Friday.
It's a Ross Friday.
Gabbert to Ross.
All right, and whoever I know Nick like to give out gifts. Whoever gets the stats right for Ross, and who else they said it was going to Tony. How many? Whoever had the most yards in Harbor, whoever the most yards in that game, and they get it right. They will get a what, Drake? Autograph.
Tyreek Hill from the Bowtie Sportsman himself.
Wow.
I will sign it myself. You ain't gonna get it signed by Tyreek Hill, but you will get it autographed.
You will get it delivered. Authentic. You will get delivered. Fast delivery from Bowtie.
Yes.
I will sign it myself.
In person.
Nick will sign it. Drake will sign it, and Lou will sign it. We got to mail it out to Lou. Then Lou sign it. Then
cameras
back to you.
Rolling.
Hey guys, real quick, gentlemen. Dave said he's glad he found us. This is going to be fun.
Thanks, Dave. We appreciate it.
Go ahead and subscribe
to the channel.
Go ahead and subscribe, Dave. Subscribe.
All right, guys.
Tell your friends.
All right, guys. We out, man. Remember, I would give the autographed jersey. Nick would sign it. Dre would sign it. Lou would sign it. I would sign it. But it's up to you to get it signed by Tyreek Hill. Other than that, get the stats right. We'll be back Friday. All right, guys.
Peace out. Have a good one.
Peace.
Yeah.